Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sidharth Swami. I am working as a regional technical sales consultant for Gulf Business Machine UAE. My topic for today is 5 technology top trends for BFSI industry. Before starting up with my session, let me give you a brief history about the banking. So initial traces of banks were discovered back in 2000 BCE in the regions of India, Assyria and Samaria. In 16th and 17th century, banks started to take place the way we look at them as of today. They started accepting money, lending, they introduced the bank deposit and all of these features which we see them today. It was late 1950s when banks actually started introducing computer system, and the first system were introduced like IBM UNIVAC 1 and 701. By 1980, the first ATM machines were installed in the regions of Europe and America, and in 1990s, internet banking came into existence, where the web consoles were offered to the customers where they can access their bank accounts and do the deposit by themselves. But it was the year 2000 when the actual mobile banking came into existence. This was the time when banks started to introduce mobile banking applications and customer could do their transactions through their mobile phone. It was considered as the iPhone moment for banking, and this is what we have been doing all that while. Now, before we get into the discussion, let's understand what are the challenges in the legacy banking industry. First of all, it's very outdated. Most of the banks which uses the banking infrastructure are still running on the legacy infrastructure. We'll see in the following slide how does it look like from the overall perspective. Secondly, cybersecurity and ransomwares are on the rise. We have seen many incidents where banks have encountered the ransomware attacks. As of today, if any bank encounters any ransomware attack, it could tarnish their image and it could end up losing a lot of precious customers. Then banks also have to integrate with the latest technologies. Today we see that a lot of banks are offering custom-based solutions, and sometimes it is not possible to offer those services from a legacy infrastructure, and this is where the integration comes into the picture, where they can integrate with the other banks or the financial institutions. Finally, all banks have to abide to the regulatory compliance. They are working in a very global scale, where banks have their bases in multiple regions of the world. They have to serve different ethnicity and sometimes to the different federal laws, and they have to abide with each one of them. Let's look at how the traditional banking infrastructure looks like. It all starts from a core banking system which runs on a legacy infrastructure of mainframe and relation database. These systems are further connected via middleware of host systems, batch processing, APIs and middlewares. The basic function of this peripheral is to take the information from the client terminals which are connected over a private network and pass it on to the core banking system where the actual banking can do the transactions. These client terminals are nothing but web consoles which are basically connected to the branch servers of the bank, from where the employees do the transaction on behalf of the customers. And most importantly, this system often run on the legacy languages like COBOL and Fortran. As we can see, this is not the ideal situation for today, because the rise of customers' expectation is rising. Let's see what customers expect from the bank as of today. Customers expect their banks to offer them online services. These online services are not restricted just to offer the basic banking features, but they could also serve to the needs like shopping experience and to transact with other financial peers. Majority of the banks are investing into cloud native form factor, and mobile banking, as we have seen, is on the rise. Customers expect that they could do the transactions from peer-to-peer payment, their digital wallets. They could also transact the crypto, and they can sell and buy their stocks all through their mobile banking applications. Finally, customers also expect the banking experience to be very personalized. As we all know that we do not just want the mobile banking applications to do the basic banking operations. We often use it for our shopping needs or to other extent. And this is where customers expect that the solutions should be very personalized and not generic. It all has to happen on a secure banking infrastructure. We all understand how ransomware is and cyber security is on the rise. So so the customer's expectation is to have a very safe and secure banking experience. And finally, every industry they offer a customer services to their end users, and bank is no exception, where the customer expect that the banking experience has to be very seamless. In case if there is any flaw in the transaction, customers expect their bank to handle it seamlessly, and they should assure that their data and their money is in safe hands. As we can see, all of this cannot be offered from a legacy infrastructure. Let's look at a quote from Chris Larsen. Chris is a Silicon Valley venture capitalist, and he's a founder of Elon. He says, "The banking industry is ripe for innovation and disruption. The traditional way of doing banking is no longer sufficient in a digital world." Let's see what are the top trends of modern banking, which is of course a topic for today. It starts from cloud, artificial intelligence, open banking, transformative technologies, and non-traditional financial systems. Let's look at them one by one. Cloud. We all have seen that banks are investing heavily into cloud platform, whether it is public cloud, private cloud, or hybrid cloud. The need for investing into cloud platform is to offer their developer and their users the infrastructure as a service and platform as a service kind of features, where the developers can develop applications on top of that. Needless to say, it gives them the scalability where they can address any spike in the demand. They no longer have to go through the longer capex model, and the resources are available just at the time when they need it. It also helps them to reduce the cost. Majority of the customer, when I talk to them, they are also considering cloud as their DR or a business continuity option as well. They are using cloud platforms to use on-demand DR or the cloud-based DR solutions. And all of that has to happen just to reduce the time to market. It is a time where every industry, including banks, they are heavily investing so that they can offer the solutions to their customer in a very timely manner. And this is where the cloud helps them. Next is artificial intelligence. As we have seen in today's keynote, Raghu and Sumit spoke about private AI and how AI is transforming the world. We all have witnessed how ChatGPT and OpenAI has transformed our life in a lot of ways. Banks too are investing too much into artificial intelligence so that they can offer a personalized customer experience to their user base. They are using AI ML algorithms to offer a solution which is catering to their specific need. Artificial intelligence is also heavily used in terms of fraud detection and prevention. It can understand and learn the behavior, and basis on that it can address whether it is a real transaction or it is just a system which is malicious. Banks too use this to understand the credit assessment for a customer. Artificial intelligence is used to identify the credit worthiness of a customer. Basis on that, when I as a customer apply for a loan, basis on my credit worthiness, banks can precisely identify how much money lending can be done to a particular customer. And needless to say, it also does a lot of predictive analysis, where it can identify the customer behavior, and basis on that it can offer the solution. We might have seen, if you look at any of the shopping ad online, you immediately start receiving the alerts on your portal, whether it is your social media handle or any other social media platform, and then it can identify what is your need, how are you spending. Next is open banking. In today's world, no industry can work in silo, and banks are no exception to that. They have to share their data with other peer banks, with financial institutions and also to the federal agencies. It involves a lot of innovation in order to make the solution where the data transfer can happen seamlessly and securely, because they are dealing with the precious information. They also have to sometimes integrate with the system where that it can offer them the real-time transactions. We have seen there are many banks where the money transfer can happen in real time, whether a person is sitting across the geography, and it can only happen when the data transaction is done in a very smooth and a seamless fashion. And finally, they all have to apply to the regulatory compliance. Finally, we have seen how the transformative technologies are changing the world. Banks are investing heavily into develop the solutions which sometimes involve migrating their core banking applications to the microservices. It involves a lot of complex infrastructure, and sometimes they have to do the visibility end to end from the infrastructure to the application layer. We have seen how artificial intelligence helps them to do the data decision making, where they can identify customers' behavior. And like any other organization, bank too helps to rely on the collaboration tools where they can offer solutions to their employees, their remote workers and third-party users to be productive all the times. Finally, the non-traditional financial services. We have seen in the past there is a term called fintechs which has come into the existence. These are the financial institutions which uses technology to do the disruption in the market. Their lucrative solutions like digital wallets, payment gateways, real-time transactions, it offers a solution which no other legacy banks can offer. In most of the developing countries where the majority of the user base is residing in rural areas where the large banks cannot penetrate that market, this is where fintechs helps to penetrate that market. It uses features like mobile banking and a custom-based solution where they can actually identify the credit worthiness of the user base, and they can do the microfinancing to them. Finally, let's put them into a perspective from how VMware solutions can help them. We have seen in today's keynote that how NVIDIA and VMware joint partnership is helping to solve all of these solutions. With the help of vSphere, vSAN, NSX and ARIA suite, which is running on a proprietary NVIDIA hardware, it can offer a solution which can give the offerings which we have spoken about in today's presentation. Thank you so much. This was my time.